So thank you for taking the time to watch this another LoadProof video case study. And this case study is about a major chocolate manufacturer in the whole world, right? I mean, these guys are like Italian, company. They got started back in the day when Napoleon was ruling France, and they came up with this unique, chocolate spread or something like that, and that's just been they do it so beautifully, so well. So it's again, huge business. I mean, it's definitely multiple billions. I don't know, 5 billion or 10 billion, something like that. So and they had some very interesting challenges because they were, they would ship pallets and then some boxes, cartons on the pallets would disappear. So then we recommended best practice, right? We recommended many best practices, and then one of the best practices I remember so well is because was that, hey, put black stretch wrap because people cannot see what is inside. And if right, I mean, we're all humans. I mean, we get tempted when no one is seeing. Hey, you know what? I can take one. If I take one home or things like that, right? Humans get tempted, but if you put a black stretch wrap and you cannot even see what is inside, then you at least avoided the temptation. And also set expectations with the carriers as to, hey, and many shippers, many 3PLs do this. What they do is they put the black stretch wrap and also put a note or label saying that, hey, do not break the pallet, because often what happens is when the carriers are trying to optimize their cube, right? I mean, they optimize their cube on the trucks. So when they try to do that, sometimes they, if they find an opportunity to break a pallet and then, optimize their cube, they do that, right? And the only problem is now the customer is, the recipient is expecting one pallet and now they get two pallets. Now everybody's confused. What is now, you got to reconcile against what is in the pallet one, what is in pallet two, and then if there's a multi-SKU scenario, it becomes even more complex. And now the guys are there on the other end are literally pulling hair, right? So that's the problem, right? They don't one supply chain partner doesn't understand the repercussions of some over motivated person. Hey, you know what? I'll just break the pallet and optimize my queue. They don't think the entire impact of this on the entire supply chain. People are confused and somebody's getting dinged, and all kinds of misunderstandings happen, and now a relationship is ruined, right? So that's what and this is another best practice. They can set expectations with these people, saying that, hey, we would file a claim if you break the pallet, right? And also you can put a label saying that you do not break pallets and things like that, right? So that's what we recommended. And actually, Helen was the director of the facility. So when we started talking, she was like very skeptical. She was like, "Oh, this is not going to work. It's a complete waste of time. Why do I have to do this extra step?" And it took a while to. And there was also another major 3PL that was involved, right? And often I've been to facilities where the 3PL is running the facility. There'll be just one or two reps from the brand or the OEM. So sometimes, right, I mean, especially when they're young and they're trying to control things, and the relationship is sometimes, I mean, it takes a while to get to that really smooth working relationship, to establish that smooth working relationship. But sometimes it's like a little bit of a tug of war between both sides. So we kind of got engaged in that situation, and then once they started taking photos, and then they realized, oh my God, it's so beneficial and it's so easy. It doesn't take very long. And Helen came back and said, hey, I was skeptical, guys. I was literally questioning, why do I have to do this extra step? And after she started, her people started doing that, she was like so thankful and so happy that, oh my God, this makes a huge difference. Now I'm not spending time, looking for photos. I just have to go to LoadProof, pull the photos within seconds. I can share it with my partners. And both the 3PL and the OE, brand were very happy because, there is trust, there is relationship, there is transparency. Nobody is pointing fingers at anybody. They knew clearly what was happening, right? That was another. And this is a major 3PL as well, and even they were like little hesitant, but now that it became a standard operating procedure now, right? So they don't ship without photos, and they've also implemented the best practices that we suggested. So huge savings. I mean, they started with one, and then they said, you know what, we're going to turn it on all the 5 or 6 facilities, and huge savings. It's all expensive chocolates, right? So Obviously they're expensive, and all those, and the retailer chargebacks, the damaged products, the rejected loads, the obviously having a system, all that immensely contributed to their savings, made their life so much easier. And actually Helen retired recently, and before that also we heard from her. So it's a fantastic tool. And food, right? Food, you guys know the unique characteristics of food. The volume is huge, and every day you got to ship it, right? So it's all a lot of FTLs, 45 pallets in a big truck. Right. So if you are in that segment, you ship a similar product, you run into a similar operation, you're running a similar operation, you're running into a similar situation where you're losing a lot of money, reach out to us. We'll be happy to help. We can add ton of value. Like I said, right, we don't want to sell you something that you are not going to be beneficial to you. We are very, very careful there, but we can add value. We'll set you up with a free trial. Call us and reach out to us. We'll be happy to help. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.